Cannabis sativa is a plant that has been legally used for most of human history. In 1937, Congress passed the Marijuana Tax Act that mandated excise taxes and enforced penalties on the commercial handling of marijuana. The act limits possession of the drug to authorized medical and industrial uses. In 1956, the Narcotics Control Act set the penalties and mandatory prison sentence of first offense marijuana possession to a minimum prison sentence of 2 to 10 years and a fine of up to $20,000. California became the first state to legalize the medical use of marijuana in 1996, allowing the sale of marijuana for medical use to patients with AIDS, cancer, and other conditions with chronic pain. Advocates for the legalization of marijuana say the criminalization of marijuana possession wastes law enforcement resources, but those opposed the legalization argue that marijuana acts as a gateway drug that eventually leads users to dependence on more addictive drugs. Marijuana, the magical plant with a million uses, over the last decade or so, has it apparently made a big impact. Sure, it's a drug, but that gets you high, but what people really don't understand is it has healing properties. Diseases such as glaucoma, most forms of cancer, even AIDS, have slowly been disappearing in recent numbers thanks to medical marijuana. With AIDS, it helps reduce nausea, loss of appetite, and conditioning the vomiting of some of the medications they give you to help it. With glaucoma, it helps reduce the swelling eye pain, slowly taking away the condition. With cancer, many side effects of the medication to stop cancer can be relieved with marijuana. Some studies suggest that marijuana tends to slow down the progress of some types of cancer even. Today's federal debt is about over $18 trillion. With the legalization of medical or even recreational marijuana, we could wipe that debt away within the first few months of legalizing it. Colorado is estimated to make or save up to at least $12 to $40 million a year over the span of a year simply by ending the marijuana possession, arrests for marijuana possession. I'm not saying go ahead, smoke as much pot as you want. What I am saying is, don't be so quick to judge. Who knows? You could be the next person walking into a medical dispensary for something. So if you agree with my statements made, be for the legalization and distribution of medical and recreational marijuana.
Marijuana is one of the most detrimental things that could be legalized in the United States of America. The governor of Colorado, the first legalizer of marijuana, said he was reckless in legalizing the drug and regrets doing it. Most people from Colorado, especially teenagers, who are found using marijuana are going through a long-term memory loss syndrome. And it's cured by stopping weed in their daily routine. Not only do people suffer from memory loss, but employment has also been decimated due to the fact that people refuse to stop smoking long enough to show up to work sober. Recent studies indicate that marijuana is worse for your lungs than a cigarette. This is true because marijuana requires stoners to take long puffs in order to get the whole effect. And since marijuana is a natural drug, often smoked green, it has a large amount of carbon dioxide, which is released when smoked. And the carbon dioxide in marijuana is usually 30% more than a cigarette. The reason carbon dioxide is bad for you is because it eats away at your lungs and causes respiratory issues. The largest detriment of weed is that it kills your personality, destroying your brain cells and laying waste to your mind. People argue it isn't as bad for you as alcohol. It's more natural. It's not made in a factory. So why do we have to justify one wrong to make the other wrong look a little more moral? Alcohol is worse than weed in killing the brain cells, but that doesn't hide the fact that weed still destroys your mind and will tear apart your lungs.